We always tend to have really great shows at the Palladium.
Always the best place to play, you know? No matter where you go in the world, home's always the best place, you know?
The reason why we wanted to do our DVD there, just love everything about what's going on. And the scene has exploded 100-fold from what it used to be.
Being from Massachusetts, you're in a small community, and a lot of dudes are like not competing, so there's a lot of room for friendship.
We were lucky. We lived in a fucking small town. 5 towns went to the same high school. Fucking hill towns, hicks everywhere. But they appreciated underground music.
That shit wasn't underground, that shit was underwater.
We definitely make fun of the western side of Massachusetts.
It's a very inbred scene up there.
Oh, the Western Mass scene is mad incestuous.
You know, we're from the east side, so...
It's a good 2 hours away drive.
Yeah. Anything west of Worcester, basically, we just poke fun at.
It's kind of hick out there.
Western Mass, we got funny water or something out there. I don't know.
I think we're just jealous because it's like so many better bands out there than what we're doing.
There's like 20 bands from this area that are signed and doing things now, you know what I mean?
It's just a love fest that's borderline vomit.
It goes deeper than anyone would expect.
We want to do the Kissing Cousins show, you know, where it's like, you know, Overcast reunion, Aftershock reunion, Shadows Fall, Killswitch, All the Remains, you know, Seamless, everyone will all play. It'll be awesome. Kissing Cousins.
Pete from Overcast, the guitarist, is now the guitarist in Seamless, and Jesse, former singer of Killswitch, is the singer as well.
And I'm not even from Massachusetts. I'm just like I'm like adopted.
All the bands in this area have gone from other bands to other bands. Like, you know, Matt Bashan was in Exhumed, went to Shadows Fall, started Shadows Fall, got Phil Labonte from Perpetual Doom was the singer.
Pause. This was not planned. This was not planned at all. We might as well be like 69. We might as well be like blowing each other right now. Yeah. And it wasn't planned at all.
John Dones was in Aftershock, still took him. You know, Paul Remeka was in Pushbart Warfare and a couple other bands and brought him in the mix.
Then Shadows Fall opened up for Overcast on Shadows Fall first tour with Phil from All the Remains singing, so it's just too fucking crazy. Oh,
it's a Western massacre.
You know? They kick out Phil and they get Brian Fair because, you know, and blah, blah, blah. And then Phil gets with Chris Bartlett, who used to be in Slowpoke, who was in, you know, we're doing a family tree.
You're more masshole than any dude I've ever met. You're a Western masshole. That's as bad as it gets, bro.
There's one more reason that us and Killswitch are the same, like, and linked together, is we both are Massachusetts-based bands. All the members from Massachusetts, except our Yankee fan drummers. That's terrible. How did we let this happen? 2 of us. And we never saw it coming. It's just, they're trying to taint the bloodline, I think. It's bad. It's bad.
The reason why you hear of the bands that you see now is because of the friendship and the camaraderie in history.
Before we started, you know, charting any of these bands or having really big shows, we would all show up and see each other.
I love you, dude.
That's the best part about being in a band. It's like we meet so many people on the road. You identify with them immediately.
I will bid farewell.
Come on, man, just sever the ties. Okay, just sever the ties. All right, sweet. I love you guys. God damn it.
Me too.
And it's really important. It builds a very big feeling of community, you know, and it's one that we're really glad to be a part of.
Hey, what's up, man? How you been? A little sweaty.
This is the scene that we started in, and it's coming to light now, so it's cool. What is the scene?
We're all lumped into this whole supposed new wave of American heavy metal thing, which is some term some idiot journalist invented to describe a community that has been playing together for years.
The Headbangers Ball Tour and Ozfest definitely changed Killswitch's career.
2 years ago in Ozfest, Liv and Cradle were the only really metal bands on the tour.
Yeah, if you go to ozfest.com and look up the alumni, and you won't recognize any of these bands. You won't.
Endo, Unloco, Memento, Twisted Method, Motogrator. There was a lot of other bands that I'm not even remembering that, you know, pretty much filled up the second stage.
Man, when there's just a pile of turds and there's that diamond in the rough.
We were the only independent label band, and they were second to that, being on Roadrunner.
That was a statement where they could sit there and say, forget the rest of this shit. This is the real deal. And the kids saw it, and the kids knew it, and they've never looked back since.
So the next year there was a lot of bands that seemed to have a lot more of, you know...
credible bands, real bands, bands that toured, bands that didn't necessarily have, you know, major label money to put them in a bus.
Their success showed the rest of the world that forget this other crap. Forget this wannabe, never was, never will be music.
After the first time through Ozfest, on the Headbangers tour, we were rotating with Shad, Slam of God, and us on who was headlining.
They loved the whole idea of the tour. They hated the idea of rotating slots and them having to actually close some of the shows.
And of course, because I saw from an outsider where the band was, I'm like, these guys are nuts. They're absolutely crazy.
Sold clubs out in advance, had promoters just salivating at these bands' names, and what they can do.
All these bands were getting ready to kind of cross the threshold into the next level. Like we were all felt like this real big energy that we were going to be getting bigger, in the whole scene. So, and there was a real camaraderie between the bands. Everybody was getting along. It was cool. It was a special time.
When I was growing up and you had all the bands that you thought were buddies, like Metallica, Slayer, Anthrax, you thought they were like a huge community, Megadeth, and then you probably learned like later in the road those dudes didn't even fucking talk to each other. But I can honestly say all of our bands in this whole new generation, totally have each other's back and support each other.
Let's hear it for Shadows Fall Sucking Dicks. Come on!
It's a weird, fucked up community, but it's a community.
You want to start like a fucking rap war.
I don't know if you know about this, but there's kind of a rivalry going on between us, and we kind of hate them, so they can all suck dicks as far as I'm concerned.
We would just badmouth each other to the Japanese in every interview.
Yo, there was mad confusion. People thought we were really like beefing.
So we were like, wow, that's kind of funny. Let's keep doing it.
But when you really listen to what we were saying about each other, there's no way it could have been true. So we ended up watching footage of one of the WrestleManias, it might have been 4, with Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior.
So we figured, why not? Good place as any.
Came out, I started doing the Warrior, getting pumped up. Came at him, Kudoosh, he let me clothesline him.
The floor was kind of hard. I didn't feel too good.
Thank you, Howard. He sold it like I hit him like a ton of bricks. I never felt that powerful in my life.
Oh yeah, you gotta take the blow.
He took it, and then tried to drop the leg. It got ugly.
Yeah, actually, I think I had a slip disc at the time. It really didn't feel good, but it was fun.
Wouldn't let me pin him. He wouldn't go down for the 3, but I had him hooked for a while, and he let me get a 2 count. That was just priceless. I didn't expect it to happen. It just happened. We've known each other for like decades at this point. If you can't bust on your friends, who can you bust on?
I love them. You guys are fucking awesome.